Everybody loves mechanical keyboards. That's just the objective truth. Don't want to hear otherwise. With that said, every time I see a new low-profile mechanical keyboard, it genuinely brings joy to my heart, which is why you can imagine my excitement when I got the opportunity to review the Kemove K68 low-profile mechanical keyboard. This is essentially a 65% keyboard that is packed with a number of cool features, and today we're going to do a detailed review to see if whether or not this is the right keyboard for you. Let's get started. To me, packaging is a very important component as it shows a company's enthusiasm towards the product they're selling, and the K68 comes in some fine packaging. I love the overall design of the box. Anyway, once you remove all the protective packaging and remove the content seals, the box just kind of slides right open. Some additional protective packaging, remove that, and here we have it, the K68 in all its glory. Now, past that, you have the inclusion of a fully braided USB-A to USB-C charging cable. Good to see that. You also have a little packet here. Inside, you'll see you have a USB-A wireless dongle and a key extraction or key swapping tool. And finally, you have this brochure over here that is kind of like a quick start guide. It also has all the hotkeys and mappings of the keyboard itself. Keeping in mind this is a 65% mechanical keyboard, you don't have a dedicated function row or 10 keypad. However, you do have really well labeled keycaps. There's a decent amount of surface area per keycap, and overall the keyboard feels nice and clean, though it's worth noting there are no secondary function keys labeled on the keycaps, arguably to keep it nice and simple, but it does make it a little bit more difficult and a bit of a guessing game unless you have the actual cheat sheet with you. With that said, one of the reasons this keyboard has a slightly more chunkier design than your traditional 65% keyboard is because outside or on the sidelines of the shell, you have a built-in LED lighting strip that circles the entire keyboard, and this really does look nice. We'll talk more about it in a bit. On the side of the keyboard, you do have two switches. One of them is to switch between the three primary connectivity modes, so wireless mode, Bluetooth mode, or wired mode. And you also have a switch to go between Mac mode and Windows mode, which means this keyboard is cross-compatible. Now, with that said, at the very bottom of the keyboard, it's pretty straightforward. You do have a silicon shell over here, and unfortunately, there is no slot to keep the USB-A wireless dongle. However, you do have two built-in razors that also have rubber grips pre-installed, so you'll have plenty of stability. There's a few things that really make the K68 stand out. Firstly, it comes in a large number of configurations right out of the box. But even better yet, you can customize it so it is hot swappable and compatible with most Cherry, Kale, as well as Gateron switches. And of course, we do have it in the brown cherry configuration right here. But the thing I gotta tell you right off the bat is that this thing is super well lubed. Every keystroke feels buttery smooth, but at the same time, you still have the tactility and mild pushback you'd want with a brown switch, so you don't really compromise on anything. I know a number of you are curious to see how this keyboard sounds, so here's a quick typing test. Kemove's K68 is fully hipster certified because it includes all the RGB backlighting your heart could possibly desire. So the keycaps have a number of preset lighting modes you can kind of toggle through. You also have a number of built-in brightness settings, and the best part is you have an entire RGB sidewall that goes around the keyboard. Even more impressive is the fact that you can actually turn off the primary keycap backlighting but still keep the sideline backlighting on for an aesthetic appeal, even if you don't really need the additional backlighting. Now, with that said, you can get up to 10 days realistically with backlighting on around medium settings, but Kemove claims if you completely turn off backlighting, you can get an impressive 6 months on a single charge. Overall, I think Kemove's K68 series is a fantastic keyboard. You have well-lubed keys, a great typing experience, multiple configuration options, lots of customization, and all the RGB lighting like I said, that you could possibly desire. The only thing I will say is that this keyboard does have a considerably more chunkier form factor than a lot of other compact or 65% keyboards, but again, they make up for it by providing you the additional lighting effects. Let me know what you think about this keyboard, whether or not you're interested in purchasing one. I'll leave details in the video description below. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video. It genuinely helps us grow and means the world to me. Catch you in the next one.